This conference will now be recorded.
So in this session, let's see how I am going to use SOAP to integrate in Salesforce. So I understood SOAP is a simple object access protocol, XML based. So we'll see how that SOAP helps us to integrate between two Salesforce systems. Okay. So now I will define some steps. So whenever you see the integration using SOAP, so what kind of thing we do? So always to remember, there will be a client integration in the sense two system in associated. One is client, one is server. Okay, so I'll do a basic example. Okay, we'll see how I am going to do it here. So my server is going to have one service. So what is the service? So they are giving a service. So you can make a call to this service. Okay, so with passing some informations, based on that informations, I'm going to create a account record in another system. So here let's consider I'll pass account name as Devasis, okay, some phone number and email and some other informations as a string or something, some parameter I can pass. Use that parameter, I'll pass as a request to my server. In the server I'll have a some kind of class or logic to create a account record. So that's a very basic integration I'm going to show you using the SOAP between two systems, how I am going to communicate. With this basic example, I'll show you how these systems or how this authentication or how this system going to establish integration between two. And when you do integration for any systems, just remember there are 4 steps you remember to do, and it's quite easy for SOAP integration. So what are the steps we need to follow? So now I am going to break these steps in two parts. So whenever you are going to do this soap, so what I need to do it. So to do the soap, what you do? Simply to remember. So you have to find out what is your server and what is your client for any soap integration. I'm dividing this diagram completely in two parts. So let's consider this is my server side. Okay. Then in client side, what you need to do. Okay, so now I'm saying there is a server who have exposed one SOAP service. We can call that SOAP service and can create a record on their system. For example, to understand, let's consider, forget account, take an example of lead. Okay, so you are using the Salesforce, okay, and you have a very big enterprise, and now there are many partners with you who do marketing for you. They may do some digital marketing or any kind of marketing they do to collect lead for you. Okay, and whatever the lead they're getting, let's say you have 5 different vendors who are working for your marketing to collect the lead and they want to pass to you. Okay, so now when they want to pass to you, so now you are not going to give direct access to your Salesforce. So what you did, you established one kind of something you can say, let me tell, one kind of integration layer you establish in between. Okay, so now if any partner want to create a lead in your system, simply they can call to your integration code, or they can integrate their systems to your system. They can pass the lead information through your integration class or integration layer to create lead here. So now in this example, you are going to be a server, okay, who have exposed some service. By invoking that service, these vendors, nothing but your client, by invoking that service, they can create the lead record. We'll see this example how we are going to do it. So between the server and this client, how we are going to invoke this service using SOAP. Okay, so now when I'm doing, I understood this part is my server, this part is my client. So I'll show you this example with Salesforce to Salesforce so that you will understand the complete cycle how it happens. Let's consider these clients are with some other Salesforce applications. They are also using Salesforce. Now they want to communicate between this Salesforce to this server Salesforce. So when you do what we do, like how we can do. Okay, so now we defined there is two systems. One Salesforce system, nothing but your server, which you can say here, and another Salesforce system, which you can say client here. Now, in the server, I want to expose one web service so that my client can call it. So first thing you need to do, you have to define your web service. This is going to be your first activity from the server side. You should have defined one web service. So how we'll do, I will tell. Remember these 4 steps. It will be quite easy for you to integrate anything. Okay, first thing in the server, there should be a web service method. Second, what? I wrote my logic, what my web service is going to do. Okay, once I wrote my logic in the web service, then I have to share that web service to my client. Okay, if I have some web service written here and this web service I don't share with my client, then how can they go and create record? To do that, what I will do, I have to share my web service. To share the web service, what we do, we have to generate something called WSDL. I will talk what is WSDL. We'll generate and share the WSDL as a second step. Remember, in the server side, I'm just splitting it again here. In the server side, I'm going to create a web service method. Then I will generate and share the WSDL with client. My server work done. I have my WSDL. I generate WSDL, and like what are the WSDL I need to share with my client. I generated all and I share to my client. So I'll show you what is WSDL and how I'm generating step by step. So once I got my WSDL, next what I have to do. So now my client, okay, I have this WSDL file, for example, I created and generated from my server, and I share this over the email or over any mode I gave to my clients. Okay, take this is my WSDL. Now you establish a communication with my system to create a lead. So now once they got this WSDL file, what they will do? That's my second point. So when this WSDL file came to them, what they are going to do? They have to consume that WSDL. How they'll consume? So they will consume in such a way, they will generate Apex class from WSDL in the client application. Nothing but in the client Salesforce, they are going to take this WSDL file and they generate some kind of Apex class. So which client want to integrate? Some Apex class they will generate in their system. I'm saying Apex class because these clients I kept it as Salesforce. Now I'm doing client also Salesforce, server also Salesforce, and they are going to communicate using SOAP. For SOAP, we create a web service method, we generate the WSDL file, then that WSDL file we share to Apex, share to client. That client generated Apex class from the WSDL. Then once I have Apex class, then client will invoke my SOAP API call to the server. Nothing but client will invoke my web service call to the server. So now we will see how I am going to achieve these 4 steps. And with the example of I am going to create lead from one Salesforce to another Salesforce. I will create 2 Salesforce account now, and I will show you how I am going to establish all these things. And I will tell you everything as step by step so you can remember. Summarize this session. Whenever you want to integrate SOAP, create web service method in your server, generate WSDL file and share it. And from the client when get that WSDL, they will take that WSDL file, generate Apex class from that, and they will write the logic how we can invoke. Then we'll see each part how I am going to implement in the next session. Thank you. Stay tuned for next session.